Okay. Good evening, everyone. So today we'll be dealing with art and architecture and art and culture of Indus Valley civilization. So the very first thing when we talk about art in case of Indus Valley, it's seals. They are perhaps the most artistic and remarkable creations. So now most of the seals they are square shaped. However, triangular, rectangular, circular seals have also been found. Now the question arises, what was the material which was used to make those seals? Steatite was the primary material. So steatite is the soft stone which is found in the river beds. Steatite was the primary material which was used to make seals. However, seals made up of agate, chert, copper, fanes, terracotta, they have also been found. Now, most seals they had, and they almost each and every seal they carried an animal motif, and they had some inscriptions which were mostly pictographic. So script was mostly from right to left, but bidirectional style can also be seen. Now, by this bidirectional style, we mean right to left in one line and left to right on another line. Good evening, Arish. So generally in most of the seals there are generally 5 animals they have which have been found. So generally 5. So common animal motifs include unicorn, humped bull, rhinoceros, tiger is there, then elephant, buffalo, bison, goat, markhor. It's a type of markhor is a type of wild hilly animal. It belongs to the family of goat, and it is the national animal of Pakistan as well. Markhor was there. Then ibex, crocodile. So these are the most common animals which have been depicted on the seals. Now when they are using animal motifs, so what was the way of using animals, or what was the way of uh, putting in messages? They must have been used for some communication or trade purposes or educational purposes as well. Some special purpose, maybe identification, permission to go to a restricted place. It must have been something like that. So what was the technique? So generally The seal had an animal or human figure, animal or human figure on one side, and inscription on the other side, or inscriptions on both sides. Deer, you can see, you can include ibex, antelopes. Ibexes are of the same family as antelopes, that is deer family. So there are some seals on third side as well. So imagined animals, you can say half man, half bull, or half man, half deer, something like that. Steatite is the soft soapstone, you can say. It is found in the riverbeds. A soft stone found in the riverbeds is known as steatite. Now, what could have been the purpose of these seals? Purpose. So one primarily used for commercial purposes, and additionally they were used for communication, trade, maybe in case of trade you can say as trade permit, Then for another was religious purpose as well. So how come religious purpose? Okay. Okay, Arish, this is your answer. Steatite. This is what we mean by steatite. Steatite is a type of stone. It is generally known as soapstone. Some seals they have been found on the dead bodies. Uh, so probably they were worn as amulets. Apart from that, they were used for educational purposes as well, and it is very much possible that additionally they might have been used for identification purposes as well. So these are the various purposes for which the seals they might have been used. Now the most famous seal is that of seal of Shiva Pashupati found at Mohenjo-daro. They were discovered at Mohenjo-daro, and it depicts a figure wearing three-horned headgear and sitting cross-legged. So okay, on its left side an elephant and a tiger have been shown on its right side. A rhinoceros and a buffalo have been shown, while two antelopes have been depicted sitting below the figure. So this is the this is the most famous seal of Indus civilization. With this we come to the next topic, next head under art and culture. And this is art of making so in order to make the bronze figures, Sire Purdue technique, Arish, I told you that antelopes and deer, they are of the same family, so nothing to worry about that. So Sire Purdue technique or lost wax technique. Now all the metallic figures, all the metallic sculptures which are made in the present times, they are more or less prepared in the same manner. Similarly, what happens in case of Sire Purdue technique is that first of all they used to make a figure of whatever they wanted to make. Let's say they wanted to make a figure of a bull. So they used to make a wax figure of the bull, and then they covered it in clay. They and additionally they used to make a hole as in the figure. Then they put that in fire. As a result, the wax it used to melt away. Now they have a solid figure of bull, solid clay figure of bull. Then through that hole which they had made, they used to pour down the molten metal, and they allowed it to cool. They allowed the metal to cool down in the casing, that is the clay casing, and once the cooling was done, they used to break the clay, and hence they had prepared the metallic figure of uh, the animal which they desired to make the figure. So the best example of bronze figure is there are two. Bronze dancing girl of Mohenjo-daro and bronze bull of Kalibangan. Bronze bull of Kalibangan. So now you might ask, you might be curious, what exactly do we mean by Tribhanga posture? Tribhanga posture, uh, it's still used by the practitioners of Bharatnatyam dance. Basically, in case whenever we are talking about Tribhanga posture, whenever there are three, you can say three folds, or rather three curves in the body, then that particular posture is termed as Tribhanga posture. That is, a person is standing by making three bends. That is, one was here, then the girl is bending her hip slightly towards her left side, and additionally there is a bend in her leg as well. So three, that is three bends in the body. So this is Tribhanga posture. Additionally, this is the oldest bronze statue in the world. So this depicts she is wearing only ornaments now. There are bangles in the left hand and in the right hand she is wearing amulet and bracelet. Now the next important work of art is terracotta. Terracotta figurines. So terracotta, they are also known as fire baked clay. Less in number and crude in shape and form. So they did not have a very fine finishing, a very refined finishing. Hence, you can also say that terracotta figurines were mostly found in lower city. Now, additionally, they were found mostly in the sites of Gujarat, and in Kalibangan. Majorly toys, animal figures, miniature wheels, carts. So these things, they were depicted in terracotta figures. Next most important thing which we have is ornaments. So now additionally, one more thing I wanted to say. Now they used to take raw clay, and by pinching at the clay they used to prepare the figure which they wanted to make terracotta of, and the clay was then put into fire in order to give it a final and a solid shape. So ornaments generally precious metals and gemstones, and precious metals and gemstones, then bones, and even baked clay were used for both men and women wore ornaments. Okay, now the common ornaments worn by both men and women, they include necklaces, क्या नहीं 10 necklaces, fillets, armlets, and finger rings, and the ornaments worn by women only. They include girdles, earrings, and anklets. In ornaments itself, please consider beads as well. However, this is something which is totally separate. So beads, they were generally made up of cornelian, amethyst, quartz, statite, and there were two major centers of bead making. Centers were Chanudaro and Lothal. So these were the two major centers of bead making in Indus Valley. Now, there are no major stone works which have been found in Indus civilization. Maybe because they did not have such efficient tools which could cut through stone or which could shape stone. So no major stone works. However, there are two significant stoneworks, and they include first is a bust of the priest it shows a bearded man draped in shawl with trefoil pattern Eyes are elongated and half closed, as in meditation. Figure has an armlet on the right hand hand and a plain woven fillet across the head. So this is one of the significant stoneworks. Another one is red sandstone figure of a male torso. So it shows frontal posture with well baked shoulders and a prominent abdomen. Now, maybe this particular stonework, it might have been used for educational purposes as well, because there are sockets which have been created. So most probably it was used as a model for teaching. It is possible, however, we can only presume. We don't have exact uh, known sources which depict which might depict what could have been its use. So, as we have already seen, clothes of wool and cotton. And cotton both were used. Spindle and holes expensive faience as well as cheap clay. Okay, so this is all we have today in art and culture. Next class will be finishing off with this topic, Indus Valley. Thank you.